Hi, gorgeous Pisces. This is part 2. This is November's astrology. I just talk too much, apparently. I can't ever get it down in half hour. Very rarely do I get it down in a half hour. And my phone only allows me to video for a half hour. So you're on part 2. Now, the 7th house for you is is Virgo. Now, Virgo has come into some new energy in the past year. Most people still are seeing Virgo as the Virgo they've always known Virgo to be. But Regulus is here now. And Regulus brings in the heart of the lion. The heart of the lion and the proper service that the heart of the lion brings to Virgo for you, which happens to be the 7th house. Virgo is all about being detail-oriented, organization, troubleshooting. Very good at picking the pointer. Very good at picking it apart and seeing the truth. I call Virgo the lie detector because she's not able to go, you know how some people are like, there's A, B, C, and D, and they skipped B and C and went straight to D. Virgo's not capable of that. Virgo has to go all the way through the relationship just like so. And I say it that way because it's your relationship zone. But what Virgo can't do from A to D must follow the steps in order to make that grow and become something strong and organize it properly and healthy. And that's part of what Virgo is. She's also about your health and your diet. Organizing it and making sure to troubleshoot it just so. But with Regulus here now, Regulus is going to be here for the next 77 years. It ain't going to change. So Regulus brings in the heart of the lion and says, well, all of this service, all this detail-oriented organization, health, diet, all of this is now only about the heart and soul because it brings Regulus to the energy, the heart of the lion. And the lion is noble. The lion heart is very courageous and strong, but brings that nobility to the service of the relationships. So while you have nothing else here other than Regulus, this is changing these relationships, changing these dynamics of these relationships, partnerships, business contracts, even our open enemies, as to really, truly, where does it get deep with the heart and soul of the relationship? This is our home. This is our children. This is our loved ones. This is our spouses. This is our parents. This is our working environment. This is everything that we have a heart and soul about, that we have a partnership with in any way, shape, or form, even money. Because when you have no money, you know all about your relationship with that lack of money. So this is saying, where are you putting heart and soul into the relationship, and what is the relationship about? And how can that relationship be healthy and of service for you? And if not, then it's time to get rid of it. It's that simple. We're pretty much coming into very cut and dry energies now. And you're going to be acknowledging that. But what's going to strengthen that energy is the 7th house for you. Yeah, it's the 7th house. For you, that's Libra. Libra is all about wanting to create justice, harmony, and balance. But problem is, Libra usually is showing you how to create justice, harmony, and balance by where it's not in equal balance, by where it's out of focus, because it's the scales. That's what it does. Now, Libra has Haumea, make, and Ura in it. So it's asking you, where in the world is the sacrifice and commitment to the true relationship, its responsibilities, the rules, walls, and boundaries of these relationships, which means the joint efforts, the joint resources, the joint actions. Are they fair? Are they just? Are they truly in balance or not? And are the rules of these relationships showing themselves to be in balance? Haumea is your collective consciousness, bringing it to your attention so you cannot not see it. But make is the earth. I mean, not is the earth. Make is the growth of the lotus flower, bringing to your collective consciousness one of three things. Either you are so in the muddy swamp that you can't see the light of day and anything to believe in, or you're finally starting to break away from that and you're coming into the frothy middle land where there is an above and there is a below. There is the light and there is the darkness. But you're kind of stuck in the middle and you don't know how to go either way. Or you've started to rise like the flower does and bloom out of the swamp, out of the frothy middle, and it's stretching for the sky, stretching towards the light. It's illuminating. So the question is, Ura brings in sacrifice and commitment. Where is the sacrifice and commitment on the level of the lotus flower to get you to the illuminated spot within the relationships, their joint efforts, their joint finances, their joint resources, to make them honestly balanced and fair? Where are you in these relationships? And are the relationships fair or not? Are you part of what's fair, or are you part of what's not fair? And acknowledging that so that you can help balance them properly, because the relationships need to be just in order to move forward. And is the sacrifice and commitment in the correct place? Now, as you come into that universal 9th house, that's Scorpio for you. Yeah, I wanted to make sure. Now, this is where you're coming into a new level of your spiritual growth. A death and a rebirth. A new level of finding yourself. A new strengthening within yourself at this time. Because the sun is here. This is Scorpio season. This is where you're going to find that transformational healing that takes place within your very soulfulness. Your ethics, your morals, your spiritual urges, your higher wisdom, your visions, your psychic energy. But it's also philosophy, religion, and just higher learning in general. For you, this is Scorpio. So you're really willing to activate and take chances. You're willing to let something die and let something new begin. The sun is here illuminating your spiritual path, your soulful path, bringing it to a whole new full front in a form. But you also have Mercury in retrograde here. So this is asking you also, where are you not right with yourself in this communication? Where are you happening to see what Mercury in retrograde is trying to communicate to you without being narcissistic, without turning your spiritual energy into ego, by getting right with the oneness and the soulfulness of the unity of everything, but without turning it into ego and narcissistic energy, because Mercury's in retrograde. So where do you be self-centered enough to bring a new honesty to that self-love and the unity of unconditional love, so you can understand on a higher spiritual level the higher mind, the higher self, the truth behind the religion and the philosophy and its hiccups, as well as ethics, morals, and the wisdom, psychic energy. This is coming into a brand new birthing for you, but you may not feel it so much until at the end of the month, because that's where the new moon is going to take place on the 26th. Mercury is going to be in retrograde until the 20th. Mars moves in on the 19th, and the sun moves out on the 22nd. So that week between the 19th that from the 19th to the end of the month, it's going to be very powerful for you. Up until then, you might be doing some soul searching and soul questioning because Mercury's in retrograde in the higher self. But that's not a bad thing. It's just saying take time to really listen to the intuition. Your inner self-realization of what your higher self is trying to teach you and help you to understand about these changes as they come forward, because you are definitely about to bloom in a new way. It's a reincarnation for you if you're doing this work. And and then Mars will kind of activate that energy as it moves out of Libra and comes into Scorpio. The sun will be leaving, but you'll still already have that illumination there prior to that new moon, helping you, the direction of what the new moon is trying to take you. And this, you would have been feeling all month, because like I said, we were going from one new moon to another new moon. And Mercury never left. The sun never left. It's just Venus moved out and Mars moved in. Okay? Now, the 10th house for you happens to be where Sagittarius. It's Jupiter, Ceres, Mars, and Pallas. Now, you've had Jupiter and Ceres here all year, but this is the thing. That 10th house is your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your professional career. The outer responsibility is your duty and the authority that creates the social foundation, the financial success to bring back that honor and reputation. And financial. Now, Jupiter's been here all year, kind of blessing you, but it's been in retrograde, kind of going, let me see also what stuff you got to fix. Jupiter's moving out very soon. It just came out of shadow and is about to finally go direct. So it's like Big Daddy's home and where's my freaking piece of chicken, okay? And he's ready to go, okay, I learned this, and now I'm ready to move forward. And I'm going to be jumping out of this house very quickly. So this means he is definitely giving you the smackdown of this is what you need to learn. This is what you need to get. This is what you need to get right with now. Because I'm about to jump into Capricorn and start making a whole bunch of changes there. I'm about to leave you in this area. So if you haven't figured it out now, this is your time to get right with it and get it figured out. I only have this much time left to bring that abundance, that higher knowledge, the manifestation and magnetism to you of your honor and your reputation, and create that financial success and social foundation around you. I only have this much time left to get it through your head of what you've got to get right. So it is going to be bringing up a little bit of darker aspects, but it's coming out of shadow. Remember, Ceres has been right next to it going, this is what you've been nurturing, right? And this is what you've been neglecting. The key here is to acknowledge what you've been nurturing, but to really acknowledge what you've been neglecting. Because what you've been neglecting is going to keep you from creating that honor, reputation, social foundation, and the financial success that you want to create by being in the proper honor and reputation of what you're trying to create. So it's making sure that you have the right community around you to do so, and that you are filled with the right people that are able to help you come into that self-realization and to backbone you as you strengthen and move forward. But this is, Spirit says, the responsibilities first off are your responsibility to make sure you are handling these things. Ceres, like I said, is going to move it out on the 19th. Ceres moves out on the 19th. Jupiter will still be here while Pallas and Venus come closer. Well, Pallas is Athena, the warrior goddess. She brings strategic thinking to the intelligence of this. But Venus brings in that energy at the end of the month where Ceres has just moved out. She's coming in going, well, I very much like this, and I love that. That works for us. I feel very comfortable, and no, I don't like that. This is very bad for me. The resentment is not working for me. She's sensitivities, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. Definitely coming in and going, This is what you didn't get from Cancer. I mean, not from Cancer, from this is what you wasn't understanding from Ceres and the threefold theory and karma. So now let me dish it out so that you have to get it, more or less. She's going to come back up and backbone what Ceres has been trying to talk to Jupiter about all year, trying to make sure that you get right with your ethics, your morals. I mean, not your ethics. Well, that it will have everything. Your ethics and your morals will have everything to do with, are you truly building the honor and the reputation that you want, that leads you to the true social foundation that you want, that leads you, again, back to the financial success that you want. And it all has to do with the community and the memberships that you have in your life, the friends. Are they backboning those ethics, those morals, to support those goals, those dreams, and those ambitions? Now, that also is the 11th house. And if you have the wrong people there, starting next month, come the end of this month, mid-month, you're definitely going to start noticing if the community, those larger groups, those friends and memberships are the wrong people, because Ceres is moving into Capricorn. You've already had rules, walls, and boundaries here all year. You've already had Pluto here all year, starting to ask you about reincarnating yourself by making shifts within those relationships of those communities, larger groups, friends, memberships. Do they support those goals, those hopes, those ambitions, the true self-realization of what you're trying to create and bring yourself forward to be? But now you have Ceres moving in on top of rules, walls, boundaries, and the reincarnation of this. Ceres is coming in going, here's your threefold. Here's your karmic energy. And are you acknowledging it right now? This more or less karmic energy, threefold, neglect and nurturing. If you've been missing the memo about what Saturn is trying to talk to Pluto about, well, to be honest, Ceres is going to start giving the smackdown and making sure Jupiter that Saturn can't continue to miss that memo, because it's going to point it out of those rules, walls, and boundaries within those memberships, those larger groups, and where they're too close to home and where they're not working for your highest good, for your goals, your ambitions, and their self-realization of what you want to be and create in your life. It's definitely going to be bringing karmic energy to the forefront and making you see what has to change. You don't have a choice but to change. And then Jupiter, I believe, moves in next month, bringing a whole lot more abundance to that. This is a very positive thing or a negative thing, depending on where you are on your journey, depending on how honest you are with your true self-realization and what has been happening, what you have done and what you haven't. Now, on your 12th house, you don't have anything going on here because it's Aquarius, which is a good thing and bad. There's nothing there strengthening it. There's nothing there strengthening the healing of the 12th house. But you have more than enough going on in the 8th, 9th, and 10th house to help you with this. The whole point is, are you looking your own inner demons in the eye? Are you looking your own skeletons in your closet in the eye? Because that's where you hide your self-deception, your self-sacrifice, your self-undoing. That's where you hold on to your embarrassment, your grief, sorrow, shame, and blame. If you're not looking it in the eye and creating healing, well, then that's going to make the whole cycle start all over again, because the idea is to heal that 12th house. So when a cycle begins, you began healed. We don't want to resurrect the dead. We don't want to bring it back. We don't want to start the cycle all over again. We want to evolve. So it all comes down to your true self-realization and getting past your own self-deception. No more pointing fingers, and seeing what you have to do to heal yourself and the energies you've carried with you. I love you guys. Bye.